Yo, what is up? How's everyone doing? Welcome back to another episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. Hope you all had a wonderful Monday. It was a little whatever Monday, you know. I mean, we kind of expected this. If you came into my show yesterday, whoa, that was weird. If you showed up to the show yesterday, and if you didn't, if you watched the show afterwards, you kind of saw what we were talking about, which is, you know, expecting another big long day to the north side, another big blast off to the upside on the markets was not really in the scope, but neither was a big short, and that's exactly how the market played out. The market just kind of stuck within a range overall, in like a very small tight range, right into the higher end of the all-time high overall too. So but that didn't stop the market from giving us tons of opportunities to trade with. Lots of trades were there, mainly on the cryptocurrency side. You also got some semiconductors moving around. I wonder which one specifically. So yeah, lots of semiconductors moving around, some of them setting up for their own all-time high breakout. We'll talk about those specifically also. But in terms of the market, we kind of expected this move on the market, right? A little bit of a muted move and a little bit to the downside, not really expecting a breakout to the upside. And now we'll see how this set of earnings that are coming out into this week help us out for the market. I think we don't really have big names anymore, but we do have stocks like Target and Costco, which could help a little bit on the market to the upside train, or maybe it derails the market upside train slightly, mainly for the S&P 500, not for the tech side, but mainly for the S&P 500 side. Derail the market a little bit from their upside action, or does it actually help the market get back to the north side? So tomorrow we have Target, I believe, pre-market, and IO. The Asian sector is also a little bit dead. You know, Baidu came out with earnings that had a whatever move on it. Didn't really show up on my radar again. NIO has been having a little bit of a negative catalyst for the quite long time now, and it has died overall. The plays on NIO have died, but tomorrow with the earnings report, maybe that one wakes up a little bit. We'll talk about that one. Tonight after hours, we have GitLab with the possible move. I actually didn't even chart GitLab at all, so I'm excited to see how GitLab moved around. You guys know how much I love GitLab. I used to previously own it in my own account at an average of, I believe, like $35 or so. Got out at 70. So monster move over there on GitLab for myself. But where is GitLab now? I'm always curious as to, could I have made more money, or was I going to lose money if I held any more size over here on GTLB? So that one's on the board. We're gonna take a look at some of the stocks that announced earnings last week, like Snow, CRM, cryptocurrency basket, always on the watch. We got Bitcoin almost back at 69,000, ladies and gentlemen. That's the all-time high. Some hilarious seller just decided to hit sell order at 69,000 just for fun, right? It has to be. I mean, why else would it reject that price the way it did? Someone sold just for fun at 69,000, and yeah, hilarious. Probably the Winklevi brothers, or even our buddy, what's his name, Elon Musk, because last time he made the joke with the 420 number. He said how the company is gonna go private when it's 420. He's hilarious. So lots of speculation over there as to who that 69,000 seller is on Bitcoin, but we're almost back to it. But I do know who's exactly closing 1/4 of his position on Bitcoin into $69,420 just for fun, just so I could say I did it. So we're gonna cover 1/4 of our position into that move over there. Let's see if Bitcoin is anywhere close to it right now. In the after hours, I guess, however you want to call it. We're so close. We hit 68,577. We're so close here on Bitcoin. Coinbase probably moving over here in the after hours. Mara moving probably too. BITO, I had a monster trade on BITO today. I'm trying to remember if it was my first or my second best trade on the day. BITO had a pretty good trade over there. Pretty much leaning on cryptocurrencies move, leaning on the Bitcoin move, and monster move in Bitcoin in general. So we'll talk about more in depth on that. But let's get started with, as I mentioned, my favorite stock that I haven't seen in a while, GTLB. GTLB. So this stock came out with the earnings report. I'm gonna quickly nuke all my levels over here because I want to start fresh, absolutely fresh, except for a couple indicators that you guys already see on my charts, which is the previous earnings anchor VWAP. So looking at the previous earnings anchor VWAP still, but I'm gonna get rid of someone. Did I just hear my dog cooing outside my door? I said I'll take you for a walk after my stream. We're gonna quickly move some of my lines over, such as yesterday's high, yesterday's low. The last time I looked at the stock was in January, surprisingly enough. But here's today. Today the stock had a 1.58% to the upside. Looks like it pushed into Friday's candle and then found support into Friday's candle and then bounced later on to the north side. So pretty bullish move overall from today's action, but it did go as high as $76.50 and also got flushed from there. So not too much of a bullish move, kind of like a indecision candle, right? There are sellers, there's buyers, and we kind of ended in the middle of the body of the whole day. So indecision so far. But how does earnings set up? Earnings look green to me. Okay, 81% beat on EPS and a 4% beat on revenue. This could only mean the stock is back into, please tell me I could have made more money and make me regret it, because you know, that's a way better feeling. That just makes you know that you're in the right side. A lot of people that you called out the stock to are going to be happy that you called it out for them, ever since to the downside over there that it's been going to. But yeah, monster call out over here on GTLB from me. Let's hope that it went up though. Oh no, little bleep. Went to the downside, even with the good earnings report. You know what we gotta do for that? We gotta tune into Benzinga. Mikey Croyhan's in the house. Everyone say shout out to Mikey, the #1 supporter for the stream, top supporter, baby, and my #1 UFC partner to watch with. My #1 partner to watch UFC with. That was said pretty stupidly by me, but let's go find out what happened with GitLab. What the hell happened here? The earnings report looked good, but is it the guidance? Did they guide lower? Oh, this is gonna suck. The company reported an earnings report of 15 cents per share. Let me bring in the Benzinga screen for you guys. 15 cents per share, which beat analyst estimates of 8 cents per share. Quarterly sales clocked in at 163.78 million, beating analyst consensus of 158.21 million, and representing a 33.52% increase over sales of 122.91 million from same period last year. We delivered a strong fourth quarter and continued to see large enterprise customers standardize on GitLab to realize business value, said the CEO. By integrating AI throughout the software development lifecycle, our DevOps sector, and platforms, allowing to customers to plan, build, manage, and deliver software more efficiently, ultimately scaling the impact their software investments on the business outcomes. We believe that this puts in a strong position to continue to win the large market opportunity in front of us, says the CEO. Okay. GitLab sees first quarter revenue between 165 million and 166 million versus estimates of... I'm about to whoop somebody's ass, bro. Estimated a full year 2025 revenue between 725 and 731 versus 731.67. Hey, yo. Okay, maybe that one came in a little bit under because they're expecting 731.67 and they came in with 731 and 725. That's the range, and the range was way below what the thing is. But the quarter is above estimates. The full year one is well below. The company sees first quarter earnings per share to be between a loss versus an... Okay, that's a little bit of a miss there too. So yeah, they're missed on guidance, sadly. Big miss on guidance. Even though the report was mainly good, the guidance was pretty bad over here. They're expecting to going back to losing money compared to recently reporting a positive, and that to a 15 cents per share beat compared to a 8 cents estimate. And now you're telling me you can't even bring in 6 cents. So companies, I guess the market kind of pushing that back down. I guess I made the right call taking out at $70. God damn it, GTLV, why didn't you go up? The company expects an operating loss between 12 million to 13 million for the first quarter, and operating income of between 5 million and 10 million for the year. Okay. Sad. Yeah, oh well. The stock did flush to the downside. Now our job is to look for day trades off of this move to the downside, if there are any, and if there's any setups that could potentially show up. Let's actually turn back in extended hours, go back to the 5-minute, and I quickly throw in the anchored VWAP for today. Feb, nope, no longer Feb, March 24. I'm guessing this one was, when do you go from? You're on December. December 23. Okay, so possibly looking at that little bottom over there. We got a little bit of a consolidation range here, so I'll mark that as the consolidation range low, and that acts as the consolidation range high for me. That's also where the previous earnings anchor VWAP is, right at that low right there. Probably could throw in another line over here to the downside, this little double bottom. That, yeah, I guess that's like right before the earnings move right there. There is a little bit of a double bottom here though. I do want to point that out for myself too. We got a nice little 3-day hold into this area right here, right into that $60. Nice little 3-day hold. All right, let's go see how the stock traded in the 5-day chart. Okay, a couple of those levels did come into play. We consolidated at that 66. We broke back down to the south side, consolidated a little between $60 and $62. Eventually broke back down a little bit more. 60 ended up being a resistance. You know, a lot of this depends on how the stock behaves in pre-market too. This is obviously a pretty big move to the downside. There is a chance that the stock could find some support and move back down, but that could be just me smoking hopium and you know, praying that the stock goes back up. I don't know why I would be doing that, because I no longer actually invest in this position anymore. But you know, GitLab, something that I actually like, something that I've used before. It's pretty sad to see it get destroyed. I guess it's like when it's almost like your own baby got hit in the face over here. But overall, yeah, pretty big move to the downside. Looks like we would go all the way back into December 2023 levels. Actually, we are all the way back into December 2023 levels, aren't we? 5-minute 55.19. No, we're not. 57.21 area. 57.21 is right into, yeah, I mean, you're pretty much into December 2023 area. So you know, history kind of having to being tested again, and let's see if this little test supports the stock again. Nice little double bottom in this area. Do we find some support into 57, into 55, or do we break under 55 at that point? You know, much more downside opens up on the stock. We are probably flushing on a longer term scale, especially on a full year forecast coming in much lower, and the EPS for the next quarter coming in much lower than the estimates. Not expecting good things over here for GitLab tomorrow. I might have to you know what, I'll put in some levels over here on my watch list. Let's bring in the watch list for you guys. Let's throw in some levels. The stock is already around $57 or so. So I'll put in 57 as my first area of support, 55 as my next area of support, and then we'll see what happens under that. First area of resistance, probably 60. And then we might have to obviously revamp these levels a little bit depending on where the stock is in pre-market. And the stock also is sadly a little illiquid, especially if it's not on an earnings day. If it's not on an earnings day, the stock really doesn't have that much volume for its price, and the spread is also a little ugly for GitLab, so you got to be careful. Tomorrow, however, being earnings day, or I guess the earnings reactionary open will be tomorrow. Tonight's after hours was the earnings day for the stock. We'll see how the liquidity comes in, and if there are some opportunities to make some trade, I'll put it in the watch list for those of you who do subscribe for it. You will get that opportunity. But for now, if you're thinking about, you know, if the stock goes much lower than 55, then you can just wait for 55 to break to get short. But if 55 doesn't really show you any negativity, let's say it kind of just drops below, the selling stops, and we start popping back up, that gives you a beautiful long opportunity to go back into on GitLab, and we can then probably reject off of 60 or 62 and see what happens around those areas to take profits or flip back into short. Looks like the stock is getting destroyed tomorrow. GTLB on track. Let's see what happens on NIO tomorrow. Sadly, we just talked about how the stock has been rendered useless almost, along with Rivian now. Rivian pushing into, is this new all-time low on the stock? pretty much new all-time low. No, not all new all-time low. We've been at $1 before, but we're heading back down there. Looks like going into this dollar area at the moment on NIO. So we'll see if this 52-week low right into this $5 holds up. I think I've heard this thing about how some of these stocks have to be held up above $5, so you might see that big $5 resistance come into play on this position. But the whole Chinese sector has been an absolute guess at this point, because we don't really know if they're going to randomly come in one day and say, okay, we're no longer allowing Chinese stocks on the market anymore, especially if Trump is elected. We don't know. Any of those type of situations could show up at any moment. And NIO over here, not only their earnings report previously kind of made them struggle, we are also seeing just the Chinese sector not being invested as much as they were previously, because the politics are coming into play over here. So not sure what to do, but I do think that $5 area play could come into NIO tomorrow. And if the earnings report is positive, I think we're just going to break out to the north side. The stock has about a 35-cent ATR. I'm guessing we see double that, maybe triple that ATR, and a ton of volume. The stock brings in about 94 million shares today with the 50 million share average. We're probably seeing 200 million shares tomorrow if there is a big surprise on the earnings report. And if there is not a big surprise, we're just kind of in line flat report, then there's probably no trade on NIO at all. So we got to watch to see what happens to stock on the overnight market, watch to see what happens to this position in the in the New York market itself, and see if we can help ourselves get ourselves a nice little win, a nice little money trade for tomorrow off of the stock. Target ends up being the same stock tomorrow that's also on the earnings board. Target pre-market. Target recently also struggled. Ooh, put it in my notes over there. Target also recently struggled from their own little craziness that they did. They had some sort of a woke movement, if I remember correctly, and that really flushed the stock to the downside. Eventually the earnings report came out, and that hurt the stock a little bit more, and now we finally recovered on the stock. Looks like $100 support came into play, and we ended up bouncing. But what the hell is that? I don't even remember what I'm trying to showcase with that marker there, but okay. Big downside coming into the position ever since. Eventually reclaiming some of these moves here. Looks like wants to do target. Tomorrow's earnings reports will most likely take it back into these. Oh, that's a big move. We're in 150s. Let's see what Options AI is guessing tomorrow. Is Options AI expecting the stock to have a monster move tomorrow off of the earnings report or not? I'm guessing they actually are expecting that, because the stock sold off quite a bit. It's not like they don't make enough money. They clearly make enough money. Their Vogue movement kind of hurt them, but eventually everything just gets forgotten. People will start using them again, and people move on. They got enough money to survive. Clearly they did it in Canada. They did not have enough money to survive in Canada, and they got ran out. But they have enough money to survive. They don't got to worry about, they can just kind of wait people out in most ways, if you can understand what I mean. Here we go, looking at that top over there. I mean, we gotta wait to see what the earnings report even comes out as, right? So just marking a couple areas that might be of interest to me for the downside, for the upside, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow pre-market. But here are some levels that I would possibly watching. There we go. To the upside, we got today's range, obviously, but above today's range, kind of where the gap down high was. Usually those levels come into play intraday, allowing us to take a quick little scalp off that and probably flip long if we miss the original long. Later on, we got the triple top over here coming in, which is the gap down range high right into that 184 area. We also got the whole gap down range low coming into play, which is right where the previous earnings anchor VWAP is, going into that 130, where is that, 140, 138, 140 area. Below that we got this range low, and then this whole range high and range low over here marked out to see what happens for the stock. What's up, Prad Bankman Fried? I'm glad you recognized. Glad you recognize. DK England, hello. Hi, DK England. How you doing? Trump being elected has any merit to what you're talking about? I think I was talking about, what was that, Chinese stocks? Yeah, if Trump gets elected, Chinese stocks possibly getting banned. I like Chinese stocks, but not stocks with 2 billion shares like NIO that will move like a snail. Very good point also. What was the options AI target? Oh, I completely forgot. Thank you. I completely forgot about that. Thank God I have viewers who are expecting for me to do actual work that I keep forgetting. 7.3% expected move on target up to $161.50 or a downside move 139.58. That's right about there, right into that 138 139 area. And they're talking about 160, what did they say over here? 161.41, 161.41. That's a little bit lower than what I was expecting. They're expecting somewhere here, right under that 160 or so. Not really into 161, but we'll see what happens on target. Thank you, but Shivane. Yeah, I kind of forgot completely. I'm Zaza'd out, baby. No, I'm joking. So target, we'll see how this one sets up in the pre-market. Nice move so far. Nice reclaim at the moment. Looks like we got a beautiful trend up right off the earnings anchored VWAP too. The earnings anchored VWAP is basically showing you the trend ever since the move up. You can use other indicators too, like the 9 EMA, 21 EMA, but VWAP overall, if you understand the concept of VWAP, this is showing you ever since that earnings came out. We've been having a monster move. You don't really need to see that. You can see the chart for that too. But this one usually will end up coming as support if we do move back down. So we'll see how that comes into play. It also have multiple confluence. It has that confluence with that double top and this double bottom over here. So that level is almost like a golden level at this point. Like that 138 to that 140 zone is like that golden zone. So even if the stock has any sort of a negative earnings report, us pushing down into that 138, 140, I think that's what options AI was expecting, right? 139.50 is almost that golden area where you can possibly see good long setting up and the stock popping back up tomorrow. Matches with options AI, says Shivane. Yeah, I mean, I have 138, but yeah, pretty much around that zone. So target, you know what, I might as well put it as my support over there. 138 to 140. Oop, I'm typing it in the NIO zone. What am I doing? 138 to 140. And as for resistances, we'll probably look out to see what happens into 160 as the options AI said 160, and then above that 168. Don't really think we see anything above 168 tomorrow. That 180 is a little bit too far. A little too far in my opinion, but we have seen stocks go a little crazy recently. So what do I know? We have seen stocks go absolutely wild couple days. Ooh, there's too many lines here. I might have to get rid of most of these. That one can go for now. That one can go for now. That can go for now. Did I get rid of oh no. Okay, whatever. We'll just kind of use this. No, that was the one. Okay, awesome. So for the new trades now that we're looking for, this next stock on board is Zscaler. Zscaler recently had an earnings report, absolutely flushed to the downside, and looks like it wants to continue that downside move. We're looking to see if there's some trades over here that we can possibly look to join on the downside. So let's quickly go to the 60-minute chart, turn off regular trading hours, and see. Yeah, I like that move, right? If we do get an opportunity to get short through 210, I think we got a nice opportunity to see what happens into that 202 area, and then possible $10 move to the downside with very tight risk. You can even if you're kind of swinging that stock a little bit more, if you have a little bit of a swing type of setup, maybe you can extend that stop all the way up to 216, 217. You might be giving it $5, $7 worth of risk depending on where your entry is. But if you're giving it $5, $7, then you're probably expecting a much deeper move to the downside. Now I personally don't think the earnings report was that bearish. They did have a miss on guidance if I remember accurately. But the overall, as a day trader, let's just keep it in day trading terms. If the stock is clearly under today's low, it's I think that's the earnings low actually too. We're right into earnings low at the moment. If we get under today's low, which is at $212.50, let's just say 210. If we clearly get under 210, which is right under that low right here, everything under that is open space. So I'm very interested to see what happens under 210 tomorrow, and maybe that sets up for a beautiful short opportunity on Zscaler. Today didn't really see a trade for myself in this position, but now with the stock, how it's set up for us, I think we got a beautiful day 2, day 3 title setup. Today is actually day 2, so tomorrow should be day 3. Here's day 1, the earnings day. Here's day 2, a continuation of the earnings move. You can see how the stock pops into the earnings anchored VWAP. That's the blue one right here, and rejects into the earnings anchored VWAP, and then gets under today's VWAP, and then continues to just sell off all throughout the day, taking out the Friday's low, and just staying under Friday's low overall. So possibly expecting another downside move over here into 200, but if the 212 to 210 area holds, then there is no more short. You're possibly looking for a retracement back into the long side over here on Zscaler. Let me quickly move in a couple of my indicators over here to today. This one should to go to Friday, and we are all set up. So there we go, looking to see if the stock can help us have that continuation move to the downside past 210. I'm gonna wait near 210. Zscaler. Next stock on board, Snowflake, also still going down sadly. Snowflake, if I remember correctly, they did have a little bit of a miss on the guidance report, but their report wasn't that bad either. So it just doesn't make sense that how much these stocks are getting beat down at the moment. But who am I to I'm not an analyst. I'm not an analyst to say the stock is over. This is the price target or not the price target. I'm a day trader. That's my way to kind of pre-program my mind to get away from getting into a bias and getting into a pre-programmed, preconceived notion into a trade. Anytime you find yourself getting too biased opinion on a trade, or you find like something about it, I just tell myself to like kind of snap out of it, and you go, okay, look, I'm a trader, I'm not an analyst. That will kind of reset your mind, and then you just go, boom, what is important to me? What variables are important? What levels are important? And how can I trade if the stock is at that level? So let's go find out what's going on over here on Snowflake on the daily scale. You can clearly see it's breaking that beautiful support area over here, which is into that 180. We clearly broke 180 today, going into that 175 on Snowflake. Looks like it might just continue to the downside a little bit more over here on this position. We're going into 2023 levels, all the way to the downside most likely. That was a pretty important level in my opinion, and taking that level out today is going to turn that 180 into an absolute resistance. Now this stock having a $11 ATR, we possibly see that move into 180 tomorrow for us to see if there's any more rejection. So let's see actually where today's VWAP is. Today's VWAP right around 178. That line was that 180 resistance that we were talking about. I will not be surprised if the stock comes back into 180, 181 or so, and just finds resistance and just flushes back down tomorrow. So watch out for that. If it does move back into 185, I mean, the VWAP is there, so I think I might have to be a little careful around 180, keep myself a little light, and be ready to jump out of it just in case it wants to go test today's high on tomorrow's move. But I am expecting 180 to not even have any sort of buying power. If we do going into 180, we just got to get rejected on the move to the upside over here on SNOW. So possible short side from that with the 11 ATR on this position. You can expect to move back into 170, which would be actually breaking today's low. I think it would also be breaking earnings day low. If I can just quickly turn in the extended hours over here, that's the earnings day move low right there. So if we can push into 172, 170, clearly the stock is a lot more bearish. But if we do find buying into this 172, 175 area, then don't be surprised, because you can see how we found buying right into that area in the earnings move. Then we found a little bit more buying in that pre-market right where the stock is at the very moment. So don't be surprised if this area holds up, because the real short is right under 172, right under 170, or into 180. And then if 180 holds, it's above 180, near 186 or so. So you have to wait for those areas. You trade in these in between areas, you're just asking to get chopped up. And the real longs are also, once again, near that 172, near 170, near 180, and then near 186. It's near these levels where you want to make decision. And these middle moves, just let those market makers and algorithms battle themselves out. They have to, a market maker has to promise the stock that they're going to withhold the liquidity for the stock, and provide the shares for it. Let the instrument flow smoothly, so it doesn't just end up being a dead fish on the market. So sometimes they're providing liquidity every minute, every 5 seconds, every 15 seconds, off the VWAP, off the 9 moving average. So whatever it is that their algorithm is programmed to do, let them do that. But you got to decide off these main levels where the big fishes are deciding off of. This middle levels, you're just asking to get chopped off. So be careful near those middle ranges over here. You can clearly see how these earnings levels come into play also during intraday. So 172 to the downside for me as support, under that as 170, 180 is my first resistance, and above that will be today's high right into 155 to 185 to 186 area on the stock over here on Snowflake. CRM, this one had a monster move to the upside the day after earnings, along with the earnings day itself, taking it to a new all-time high. But then today, sadly, just a nice little inside day, kind of setting up for a possible secondary breakout over here. If we can continue to find support on this position going into 311, 312 or so, that's pretty much setting into another breakout of that 317, 320 area on CRM, and another new all-time high setting up. I think the market going to the upside will also help this stock out a little bit, so we might have to wait for that one. But right now, the previous all-time high right into that 311.75, let's just say 312, and the new all-time high into 317.65, let's say 318. And we're just watching to see how the stock plays out between these two areas. Earnings report was banger. They announced a new dividend, a brand new dividend. They also announced, I think, a bunch of good stuff overall on CRM. So everything was golden for CRM, baby. Looking to see what happens to the upside. I want to see what happens between 310. Come on, Brad, type in the right spot. 310 to 312. And for resistance, I want to see what happens between 317.65, or let's just say 317.50 to 318. Okay, so CRM over there, we'll put it up as a little bit of importance. I mean, I'll put it orange for now, but tomorrow will probably downgrade itself depending on where the stock is. Getting a little bit of alerts over here. China says GDP target for around 5% for 2024. Okay, China says targets for 5% for the year, unchanged from 2023. Economists say the goal will require more stimulus. Thank you. Breaking news from Wall Street Journal. Everyone shout out Wall Street Journal in the chat. Shout out Wall Street Journal, Wall Street Journal. But overall, CRM over here talking about how their earnings report was very bullish earnings report, brand new dividend, everything bullish overall, and hence we're seeing bad boy moves on this stock all the way into new all-time highs. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Let's see what happens over here into that 310 to 320. The stock's ATR is $7 ATR. Why is there a random green dot on my chart, man? Every goddamn time I see something, there's a green chart or green dots everywhere. Pissing me off. I gotta stop putting dots randomly on my stocks. Okay, there we go. Clean. Much cleaner to be looking at. So CRM on watch. Probably dying down on volume, sadly. You know, it did bring in 9 million shares on earnings day, but the average volume is around 6 million. Before earnings came out, it was a little bit under 5 million, I think so. So, I mean, what was it right here? A little bit under, yeah, right around 5 million. So the volume should be dying down on this position, but hopefully it still stays active as long as the market keeps moving around for it. AI, the next stock on board, one of the more I don't want to move that, I want to move this. AI, one of the more active stocks recently. You know, the earnings move came out, popped around pretty crazily. Let me find this marker. That one should go there. That one should go there. Moves are pretty violent. I mean, look how the stock moved for the longest time. Small ranges. And now we got like almost a $4 range over here all of a sudden. I mean, the stock ATR is $2, and I bet you it's $2 only because of these 3 candles over here. Before that, it was probably only $1 or even less than $1. So AI getting really active and a little volatile, if you ask me. The volume's dying down drastically, so the ranges should die down also. Let's quickly study the candles themselves. The stock got bought on day 1. Awesome. Second day, it started off somewhere down here, went lower and then pushed back up and closed here. So that's a pretty bullish candle overall. You can see how the selling pressure started, pushed it to the downside. We opened here, we pushed down, and then we pushed back up and we close to the north side or somewhere around those body over there. Eventually, you expect the stock to kind of have a bullish candle and kind of close over here. But it did not do that. What we saw was it pushed up, rejected in the same area, and then pushed right back down and found support in the same area. So we're seeing a big battle at the moment compared from a big buyer and a big seller, and this is exactly what you want to see on this position. Hopefully my manager doesn't mind me taking this analogy, but he talks about this as being as a spring, right? You're seeing a big buyer and a big seller fight between each other. It's almost like a spring being compressed. They're just compress, and once eventually one side gives out, that side falls out and the spring just blasts off to the side that falls off. So we're looking for that spring to join whenever that side falls off. We don't need to really be fighting that action either by chopping up in the middle. Now this action over here does give you a chance to get long over here and then scalp out shorts over here, or vice versa, get short over here and scalp out longs over here, so you're getting out some profits on the shorts and play within the range. And when the range breaks, if you're on the wrong side of the range, you just take a nice little small hit on that range, but eventually, since you keep scalping the range, that ends up being profitable. But I will urge you to not do that because the volume is dying down on the stock. The ranges will start dying down on the stock too, and it will depend where the stock finds some support and how it sets up for the next few weeks, next few years, next few months, and so on. It is very possible it does this. It is also very possible, that was actually pretty beautiful how I did that, my goodness. But it is also very possible where it kind of does this. This was ugly, but you understand the idea over there on AI. So very looking forward to see what happens, and I would love to join the side when it breaks either side. Looking to more not just join the breakout, but kind of join the breakout when it does this. And that's where you kind of want to join whenever that pullback and lower low, lower high kind of sets in, or pullback and the same low 35 gets rejected again. Beautiful setup over there that you want to join on AI. So putting down my support 34, putting down my resistance 38 or 37.50. You can put in 37.50, but I'm basically gonna watch 38. That's the earnings day high on AI. Li Auto flushed pretty hard to the downside today, but I guess this one's kind of done now for me in play, other than maybe you can look for some longs over here in this support area. But I think Li Auto is kind of is just done now. You know, people were expecting the stock to break all-time high. It didn't set up. They broke down, and I kind of missed the short opportunity. Well, unless you were kind of swinging the stock, it was hard to even take the short. It did flush 13%. Was it really that hard to take the short? Yeah, like where would I have taken a short? Here somewhere, and write it down for $1 per share? Meh, boring. Move on. So didn't really look for a trade over here on Li Auto. Not sure if I'm going to be looking for a trade tomorrow, but felt like bringing it up because you know, sadly we were looking for that move past all-time high, possible some sort of a squeeze, but just joining that boring move to the downside like most EV sectors now, Rivian, NIO, and so on. a coin. For those of you interested, you might want to keep that on watch. Now to the more important sector, the more fun sector over here, which is cryptocurrencies. We got Coinbase. Let me quickly move today's high. Let me delete most of my BS lines now because I get annoyed with too many lines on the chart. Move that one over, move that one over. Okay, and let's go find how this stock looks on the daily chart. I actually had a Coinbase long today. It was a winning trade, but I didn't trade it properly because it was pretty choppy, man. It was pretty choppy today. Let me show you exactly what I did on Coinbase. So right around here somewhere I got long, and then I got out because it moved back down, and then I kind of got chopped up a little bit, so I just moved on. Eventually that big move came in and I just wasn't able to catch that, but I did catch it on cryptocurrencies on BITO. So shout out to me on BITO. Coinbase just being a little dirty B, old dirty B. So it was not really the cleanest for me to trade. I stayed away from it. I said, you know what, you can be dirty all you want, I'm good. I'm just gonna be chill on the cryptocurrency ETFs, because that's where more fun is for me. It's much cleaner over there. Looking for some levels over here while I'm blabbing, honestly, looking to see where some levels could show up as some interest for me. Let me zoom out a little bit more. I mean, these are like 2021 levels. Like, do 2021 levels really matter? Sometimes they do, but we're kind of in like new price discovery, new catalysts, and all that crazy stuff. But you know what? Old prices do matter. But I'm just what is this range over here? I don't know what to do with this range. I kind of know what to do with that one, right? But what are these ranges over here, mate? I don't think we're anywhere even close to that. But with the way cryptocurrencies are moving, that's not far out. Isn't that one of the lines we just put in? I mean, yeah, you're probably watching cryptocurrencies to trade Coinbase. Overall, I mean, Coinbase is absolutely a beast at the moment. You got some own price discovery at a new 52-week high. We're going into levels where the stock hasn't been in a long time. So I'm not really sure how to use these levels as a signal to trade off of. You're probably looking as a even dollar levels to see if the stock is rejecting off of 235, 240, seeing if we can get some sort of a clear patterns off of these levels, because the stock is pretty much gearing up to go back to 400 at this point. Monstrous. I got no comments. The stock has got to be setting up for some monster short very time soon, especially if Bitcoin gets flushed. So why don't we go look at the spot market? What is the spot market looking like? We are gearing up for that 69,000. We're so close to 69,000. Come on, only 500 more. You're telling me we can't break that? Come on, dude. Break that 5,000. 500 more. Can someone just go buy one Bitcoin and just bought a bit more? Let's go. Did I just see you on the time of sales there? I probably did. Can someone just go buy one more Bitcoin for us, man? Come on. Where you big bowlers are in my chat? Ani, can you go buy Bitcoin? I know Ani's got $1 million in her bank, bro. That's probably Ani right there. 900K. Damn, 2.1 mil seller. You bastard. Bitcoin. Monster move. This is nuts. 69K. It looks like a seller right there at 69 that you can see. Let's go see if our friends over at Think with Bookmap have a Bitcoin stream. They did recently. They took it down. Oh, look, that's us. I wonder who that is. Everyone go follow that guy. 972 subscribers. I thought we were at 973. Someone unfollowed. Go hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, please. I would love that. Where's the Bitcoin stream, though? Errors. Okay, fine. Errors on the Bitcoin stream, but that's fine. Here's the earnings board for anyone interested. But we got the bootleg Bitcoin heat map over here. Not really sure if I trust this one as much, but it's a little bit of a bootleg version. We got Shivane over here and Alex talking us in the chat. I got some BTCP. What the hell is that? Bitcoin perpetual contract. Okay. Sheesh. Is this basically owning Bitcoin? How does this work? No clue how this works. What the frick? How's this higher than Bitcoin? ES. Oh, you're telling me to go to ES to go look at Bookmap. Got you. Got you. Let me go to the ES. Oh, I can use commands now. Oh, is that what he's trying to show me? Okay. Oh, Alex the man. This guy's a secret programmer, guys. Everyone, go hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. There you go. Did I not hit the like button on this chat yet? I thought I did. Did you just restart this or something? But go hit the like button. Go hit the subscribe button. We will obviously be rating these guys at the end of the stream tonight, as we always do. So go check them out. Bitcoin heat map right there. Look at that big wall on 69K, ladies and gentlemen. Big wall. Is that the amount of coins sitting there to be sold? Is that 285 coins and then 214 coins and 689,900? That is insane. Are you kidding me? How much money is that? 214 times 68900. Oh, that's too much. That's $14 million to be sold sitting right there. And another about $16 million to be sold right there. There's about a good amount of money right there. 68,500 kind of blocking it. 68,500 times. How much coins does that say? 100 coins. Do I really need to do this math, Prad? You can just do the math, idiot. It's $6.8 million about being sold. A little bit more now. More sellers are coming in. This is... I can jerk off to Bookmap all day, ladies and gentlemen. You guys don't understand. I love Bookmap. I can jerk off to Bookmap information all day, but that is beautiful. Look at that. Look at the amount of money asking to be sold. I'm gonna quickly screenshot that, put it into my own Discord, save it for myself over here. That way I have it for tomorrow, and we can, if my managers ask me where I get this information from, I tell them that I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Thank you, who knows somebody, and you know who you are. Copyright. Hey, shh. Don't tell that guy I stole it from him. Don't tell that guy. Everyone go check out Think with Bookmap. And you can see that big seller, guys. You saw that big seller on Bitcoin at that 69K, at 68,900, and also at 68,500. So Bitcoin tomorrow, I mean, expecting it to go above 236, 230, 240 will be a little insane. We'll see what happens in the overnight session. We'll see if we can actually break out the all-time high. And if we do, that's probably taking out a lot of stops. A lot of stops. Let's say you're short somewhere exactly 69K or 68K. Maybe you move your stops to 70K, 71K, or maybe you're a DJ who waits till you get a margin call. Maybe you don't even know this is happening and you're, under a rock somewhere. You're short and you're under a rock. I don't know how that happens. So, and a lot of people trade on leverage on cryptocurrencies too. So a lot of margin calls, a lot of craziness about to happen once we take out that all-time high. And same with Coinbase. I mean, Coinbase gotta join that party because it facilitates the the purchase of said currencies. Does Coinbase have a high short float? 9%. That's exactly what I was trying to find out. 9% short float on Coinbase. It is joining that short, same craziness now that this SMCI is coming into play. SMCI, which got announced recently, is going into the S&P 500 basket. Monster move to the north side today, a new all-time high, and I'm expecting the stock probably goes into goddamn 2K before we see the S&P 500 ad comes into play. So watch out what happens, mainly because the float on the stock is so small, and we have about 11% short on the stock. So you're expecting, would you not close your shorts if you're short the stock and you know that the stock is getting added to the S&P 500 index? So it's a little bit of as to who might actually hold on to this position at the moment. And if you are, you're an absolute crazy man. If you're short and you're holding, you're an absolute crazy man. So looking for those shorts to get burnt. Stock with $100 ATR. Maybe we see some craziness coming into play along with the cryptocurrency basket tomorrow. But leaning on the same semiconductor basket, you can possibly use the semiconductor basket over here to find some plays on Micron and AMD. So let's go find out what MU is doing. Like, MU actually perfectly rejected the all-time high into pre-market and flushed off of that level today. Sadly, here's the pre-market high. It was pictured like penny perfect into the all-time high, rejected that level and sold off of that area pre-market. If you were short that area, giving it very tight risk above the all-time high, you would have caught a monster short off the opening drive and you would have been done your day already, pretty much done for your day. Eventually the stock flushes into Friday's anchored VWAP, finds support into Friday's anchored VWAP and pushes back up north. Now we're looking to see if the stock can continue grinding back into that all-time high of $98.50 and actually break out of that level to the north side. So let's see what happens over here. Quickly gonna move over some of my markers. You get moved over, you get moved over, you get moved over, you get moved over. No, you go a little bit higher. The all-time high of $98.45 over here is on watch. Put that in my notes. 98.50. Let's just say 98.50 all-time high. As for supports, we're probably watching again today's low for 94.50 to come into play. But as for inflection, I think we gotta expect the stock to find some support above today's low. You don't want the stock going into today's low and kind of ranging in there. So as for inflection, I think you want to see maybe like that today's VWAP, which is right around 96.50, 95, yeah, 90. That's around $96 really. You want to see the stock above $96 and never really get under $96 to see maybe 98 can come into play. The stock's ATR is only $3. So if we do start the day with 96, then maybe we got that move to the north side. But if we're not even, pre-market in these areas, then that all-time high is not really that juicy of a play tomorrow. Maybe more juicy for the coming days forward, but we'll keep it on watch to see what happens on Micron tomorrow. Another stock on watch will be AMD. AMD, however, recently did break its all-time high. Let's fix the charts here a little bit. They're wonky. Recently did break its all-time high, and today continued to break another all-time high, move to the north side. Oh, did not mean to move that one. Oh, stop. Meant to move that. Did not move the first one, however. Broke another all-time high today, mainly leaning on that whole SMCI move. Nvidia basically doing the same thing over here too. Overall, the whole semiconductor industry is on an absolute heater at the moment. The AI sector is on a heater. The semiconductor sector is on a heater. So you could just join the party and enjoy the ride to the north side until the ride's over. Once the ride's over, make sure that you are the first one to hop out, because trust me, you do not want to be the last one to hop out on this train. You will get caught up in a big move to the downside. BTC moving to the north side, says friends and family over here. 68,800. Let's watch this bad boy live right now. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Hopefully, it's not looking that active. We got no volume, 2 coins moving per minute. Amazing, but no real volume coming in. But BTC clearly looking to make that move over here. Higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs coming into play. We are looking to see what happens in the 69K. I do have, maybe I want to revamp my position instead of, I said quarter of my position, but I didn't expect that to come in so quick. So I might want to move my order to actually a quarter of my position instead of more than half my position. So let me just quickly do that. Oh baby, how do you guys know how unstaking works? Because I recently unstaked from my Ethereum because I want to pull my Ethereum out a little bit, and it takes like forever. Apparently, it's been over a week that I've unstaked my Ethereum, and I still haven't got my Ethereum back. So it's like, come on, guys, what the hell is going on? Cancel that order. Trade. Oh, it's still canceling. You know what? We'll let it cancel. We'll let it cancel, and then we'll throw our order out afterwards. There we go. Nice little. I cancel my order, and you can see how the order flow is already running away from the highs, guys. It's all me because I'm the big whale. I'm the big whale. Overall, man, that Ethereum, I want to know what the hell is going on with the unstaking over there. I staked all my Ethereum, and now I'm locked up. I'm locked up. Can't let me in. Anyways, Micron, SMCI, AMD, and Nvidia, obviously. Nvidia, if you don't want to trade Nvidia, you always have NVDL, the lower price stock for Nvidia. It's a 2x leverage ETF, so you can always look at this one and kind of copycat trade for Nvidia. For Tesla, you have TSLL. Sadly, for SMCI, there is nothing on SMCI that you can use. Maybe you can use SOXX and SOXL, the 3x leverage ETFs, but besides that, you know, for a person who might be scared of trading $1,000 stock or $800 stock, there are some alternatives over there that you can go into. But if you're not worried, then go trade with that big boy stocks over there. SMCI, Nvidia coming into play tomorrow. Very, very, without doubt. I mean, I think with this whole S&P 500 ad business that's going on, we're wondering if there's more shorts to get their pants ripped off tomorrow, or more shorts to get their shorts ripped off tomorrow. Why did I say pants? I should have just stuck with the whole shorts idea. Continuing with our watch list, Apple, we thought was finally, you know, making a little bit of a saving grace over here, coming with that not earnings report, sadly. The what was it, the news catalyst that they're going to cancel the EV sector and they're going to dive into the AI sector more, and that gave it the nice little pop, but it kept flushing down more to the downside, sadly. And then now we find out that Apple's getting sued by the EU government a little bit for antitrust laws and so on. So Apple making a little bit of a move to the downside, bringing down the overall market and kind of weighing down the market. Apple is obviously number 2 basket over there, so Apple kind of weighing down the overall market. Microsoft not really doing anything, kind of just stuck over here. The all-time high of 420, we'll keep watching if that can comes into play. It's actually 421, but we'll see if that one comes into play. I think we're maybe 1 or 2 catalysts away from getting into that level. I'll just throw an alert for myself over there on Microsoft. Amazon had a pretty good move today into 180. There was a big seller into that 180, and it gave you a monster short opportunity on Amazon multiple times on the day. Let me show you what the chart looked like. Multiple times on the day, you got the opportunity to short the stock off that 180 area, and actually this was my number 1 stock on the day, and I think BITO was the number 2 stock on the day for me. So shout out to Amazon for taking over that spot today. Overall, that 180 level probably on watch, continued and going into tomorrow. If it shows rejection once again, amazing shorts, but if it goes above 180 tomorrow, then we got a beautiful long opportunity, but that would require the market to kind of help it thrust to the upside too. Meta 500, we did get above 500, but sadly closing back under 500 on Meta. Nvidia, we just talked about Nvidia, how it's continuing to go to the upside. Possible supports coming in at this double bottom over here at 820. You could look for that buying coming in at 820 or even at today's low maybe. I'm more interested in just trading Micron and AMD tomorrow in the chip sector, or maybe some of the ETFs on the chip sector. Nvidia has gone into a little bit more craziness sector for me now, where I just kind of stay away from it unless there's a really clean breakout, really clean bull flag, really clean bear flag setting up on the intraday setup for me to kind of join the party. Then I will join the party. If it's just chopping around and kind of just doing this kind of nonsense, oh well, that's a pretty clean bull flag. I actually didn't look at it today at all. That's a beautiful bull flag on the day on the 5-minute chart. Higher high, higher low, reclaiming today's VWAP and breaking out of that 850. That's a beautiful bull flag right there, right? So if I had noticed that, probably would have caught that, but did not pull it up at all. That's my fault. But basically I want to look for these type of patterns, these type of patterns where the stock is setting up on a nice little bull flag setup for us, where higher lows, higher highs are coming into play, and then finally we break out, joining that move to the upside. I think the market kind of rallied into the close over here too, so that helped the Nvidia out a little bit, and SMCI obviously doing what it did. Market actually flushed in the close. I guess this rally over here is what I was talking about. Market actually flushed big time in the close, sadly. But Nvidia, looking to see what happens over there in the pre-market and possibly throughout the day if it gives me some patterns to play off. Netflix, we talked about how 600 was a good level to possibly trade off of, and it still continues to shut up, Coco. And it still continues to be a good level to trade off of. Finally, we are taking above 600 over here on Netflix. However, no catalyst, no trade. No catalyst, no trade. So nothing to do for Netflix for me tomorrow. Tesla getting beat back down. The whole going against Sam Altman and Microsoft and the AI lawsuit, I guess, is what's causing Tesla over here. Not sure what exactly caused it to break this trend over here, sadly, but it is what it is, right? Tesla finally breaking back down. It looked like Tesla was finally about to wake up and become loved one more time. They were going to love Tesla one more time, but no, Tesla finally breaking that support at 200, not able to get above that 205 area, and absolutely flushing to the downside one more time today. Almost down 100%, almost down 100%, my god, almost down 10% today to the downside, but not really down 10%, only went down as low as 7% or so did not trigger SSR tomorrow. But what I thought was getting some love, I was wrong. It is not getting no love for Tesla, absolutely no love. So watch out to see what happens. We did get some previous support into the 180 area. Possible 180 supports show up tomorrow again. But if we do break under 180, we do have that low into 175 to watch out on Tesla. And I'm probably waiting at that low to possibly see if we can get a beautiful long that could take us back into 190 or so on an intraday move. It depends on where we are. It depends on if we get a long at 170, probably back into 185. If we get long into 180, probably back into 190, and we'll see what happens in that point. However, Tesla's ATR is dropping pretty hard, sadly. It used to have like an $11 ATR. Used to have, I mean, it still has 100 million share average volume, which is pretty good, but used to have $11 ATR. Now it's only like an $8 ATR, sadly, on Tesla. So the love for ATR clearly, the love for the stock clearly has been dying down pretty drastically. Now, that's pretty much all the stocks that we have on the watch for tomorrow. Mainly GitLab, Snowflake, CRM, Zscaler. That was a pretty important stock for me. The cryptocurrency stocks, no levels right now put down for myself, but I will see what's going on in pre-market and kind of map out some of the levels over there. Micron is important if we do push into that all-time high area, and then Amazon 180, if we do get into that 180 area, is also a little bit of importance for me. We'll see what happens. Tesla, you know what, I'll put it on the blue color, and then the most of these ones are kind of like, you know, if I don't really have any other stocks to trade, most likely I'll find other stocks in pre-market too. So if you guys are subscribed to the watch list, for those of you wondering how you can do that, you can do that by subscribing to me on Patreon. My Patreon members get a little bit of an extra added perks for supporting me, but everything I do is pretty much free. You see my watch list right here. It's just I don't stream in the morning, so you don't get the perks of getting the added stuff that I put in the watch list over here in the morning, such as like the 1 or 2 random stocks that I find in the scanners and so on. So those are the only stocks that you might miss out on, but I'm a strict believer in doing everything that I do for free, and that's why you guys see me showing you guys the watch list. But you get the watch list sent to your email and a bunch of other added benefits if you do support me on Patreon, and the link is down below in the description. Now, next part of the stream over here will be going into our trade ideas segment. But before that, let's talk about the earnings calendar tomorrow. Economic calendar tomorrow. Go away. I'm trying to show something for my stream. Economic calendar tomorrow looking a little busy. We're gonna get blasted with a bunch of screens over here, so give me a second. Okay, hopefully not. Economic calendar tomorrow looking a little busy. 9:45 p.m. we got services PMI coming out. We got also employment numbers tomorrow, if I remember correctly. No, non-manufacturing numbers at 10 o'clock. So 9:45 and 10 o'clock is a very, very busy time period for day traders. You want to be careful. We also have on Wednesday Fed Powell testifying, along on Thursday Fed Powell testifying. We also have a bunch of job numbers and a bunch of employment numbers coming out on Thursday and Wednesday. So this week is pretty damn important for the stock market, at least for day traders, right? So you want to be careful around those time periods when big things are happening. So tomorrow 9:45 and 10 a.m. Be careful if you're a little bit heavy on your position. You might want to make sure you're using stops. You want to use stops all the time, but if you're not using stops for some damn reason, then make sure you're at least using stops at 9:45 going into 10 o'clock tomorrow, as the market could move around a little bit. It is an economic event calendar over here for Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. IPO calendar still looking a pretty much dead. I don't think we need to see this every single day, so we can move on from that into the next segment over here for the night, which is brought to you by Trade Ideas. Thank you, Trade Ideas, for sponsoring your boy TraderPrad. They help me with finding amazing plays and amazing stocks for day trading, based on scans that I've built and based on setups that I've found on YouTube, on the internet, and I've kind of made it my own, morphed it my own. So we're gonna load up some of our scans over here, and we're also going to load up our Brokerage Plus account, which actually simulated one of our back tests for us. Hello? There we go. Simulated one of our back tests for us today. Ignore that. What the hell is that? This is an old one. Are these all today? These are all today. I want that account. Thank you. So these are all today. Go away. Okay, these are all today, and we can kind of pull up, possibly go back here. Okay. So couple of the setup, opening range break long. I kind of put a back tester for opening range break long over here. You can see how this back tester did an awesome job today. Took some longs, took some shorts, was up $1,500 on this back tester. The profit factor was 10%, not 10%, sorry, 10 risk to reward profit factor. So for every dollar that I risked, I got 10 units of reward for it. So monster trades over here today on the scanner. 90% win rate. Only lost two trades. Only lost two trades over here on this on the scanner today. Overall monster build to confidence, because if I keep seeing results like these coming in on these test that I'm doing every single day, I just kind of leave this test running in the background while I'm trading my own trades or whatever. So it will kind of give me confidence to start looking for these trades more and more, right? But the point is, you use stuff like this. You use stuff like a back tester, tools like Trade Ideas, specifically for scanners. So all this tool does right now for me is it's trading everything that shows up on this scanner and on this scanner, and if it meets the certain criteria, it's either goes long for it or it goes short based on that criteria, and it absolutely killed it on the day today. So this will now give me confidence to kind of like, okay, maybe look for the top 5 relative volume stocks on the day and kind of look to see how they break out, or maybe even take the top 2 today. And had I only taken the top 2 and taken the breakout, the opening range breakout of either of the stock today, and actually just only focused on that, I would have killed it today, right? Look at that beautiful short over here on AKRO, right around $33, goes all the way down to $30 into Friday's high, and kind of bounces off that beautiful short opening drive. You don't really need a trade besides that, but you also have Funware long today, which you get long right around $10 over here. It squeezes up to $15, $5 per share instantly. The software actually goes long Funware. Let me show you. The software actually goes long Funware. There you go. It goes long at $9, and it exits sadly at $10 or $11, and it takes profits way too early. I'm looking at the chart like, what the hell? Why'd you take profits so early, you stupid trade? But yeah, right there, it takes profits into that $10 area by going long at 909.19, and it only takes $1 per share instead of where it could have taken, you know, $5, $6 per share profit. But that's not going to blame the software. The software did exactly what the exit condition was, and it made the money that it was supposed to make, I guess, based on that exit condition. Even these losing trades were actually in the money at some point, and eventually they started losing. And if you're manually watching these trades, if you're manually managing these positions, you would have possibly punched out or you know, held it for a little bit longer or whatever. So you got to use software like you know, any sort of a back testing software. Obviously I'm using Trade Ideas, and the added benefit of Trade Ideas over here is you can connect it to your brokerage accounts such as E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, and so on, and have your system. You first back test your system, build the system, back test your system, and then once you do that, you can get it to plug into your brokers and have it trade for you, at which point you're just having the system punch into your positions, an algoed punch in, which is a way faster punch in than you punching in. You possibly get a way better price doing that, and overall, you know, you take the trades that you want to take, and sometimes it also takes the trades you don't want to trade, but you manually manage that and you walk away from those and you hold the winners longer for you. So this is an absolute, like, a game changer for me, and I shout out to Michael Noss and the family at Michael Noss, the Trade Ideas family, for hooking me up for this. And I want you guys to use something like this too. So check it out. Like, here's a setup, another setup that I built recently for myself. Box long showed up on that scanner. Oh man, I could have caught that long again, and I kind of just didn't. I was long right here, and I got stopped out on it, and I said, you know what? The stock is dead to me. But it did move back up, it flushed back down, gave you that double bottom, and it kind of, yeah, eventually I got burnt on it just because I didn't stick to my plan. But Box SE also popped up on that scanner. This was a monster short. Eventually a nice little double bottom. Oh yeah, I do remember seeing this one. I was upset by giving up on this trade. Yeah, I was also long right here, and I lost right there. However, if I did give it to the low a day, which was about $1 risk, I didn't want to give it that. If I gave it $1 risk, I would have gotten a $3 move, a $4 move almost. Did not want to give it that risk, and I paid the price for it. But overall, the stock did exactly what I wanted to do. Move 1, move 2, move 3, and then on the move 4 you get long. But I thought that right there was the move 4. Missed out on it. Monster move over here on SC. Should have kept it on my watch. I need to watch the scanner more and stick to the scanner. The only two stocks that popped up on it, ladies and gentlemen, Box and SE, and they were both monster long opportunities. You could have gone long on the initial move up too, but that's not my game plan. My game plan is to wait for the stock to pull back, look for the long, and then go on. We talked about this setup before too, but shout out to that scanner over there. Maybe I need to put this scanner as a back test. I will probably be doing that tomorrow. We'll see. Let's see what stocks moved around today with the most dollar volume. Nvidia. This one I think is a little wrong for me, honestly. I don't think this one's accurate. So maybe not even talk about it to you. I guess it looks pretty accurate to me. 50 billion. Yeah, $50 billion Nvidia. 18 billion Tesla, 17 billion SMI, that's SMCI, that's pretty close to Tesla, so that's pretty insane. 20 million volume traded on SMCI today. You're seeing $4 billion worth of money being traded on Coinbase today. Coinbase probably moving a lot in the after hours right now too. I'd love to see what Coinbase price is right now in the after hours. I'm pretty sure you guys with Robinhood over there will be able to see what that is. But yeah, this platform over here, ladies and gentlemen, Trade Ideas, go check them out. Their link is down below in the description. They sponsored the stream today. The code is PRAD15 to get 15% off. So go check out Trade Ideas in the link below, especially if you are using IBKR, Interactive Brokers to Trade. Go check them out. You can plug in your account directly to IBKR and have an algo trade for you. Trust me, that's the easiest way you can have algo run for you. So have it done for you. Go ahead. DK Inlet says good night. Thanks for all the info. DK, thank you for coming in. I appreciate the support. Love you guys from the Think with Bookmap family. Alex, Think with Bookmap, Shivane, all of you guys. Love seeing you guys in the chat over here. I always come see you guys in the morning too. I see you guys are like just like firing off in the morning chats over there. So I just come in, say hi, and just stay background because I don't really know anything about futures. So I just stay in the background, just watch the book map moving around, and I just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I can make my little baby decisions over here on my end, and so on. But ladies and gentlemen, today's show was pretty much all that. We had our awesome watch list. Main importance of stocks over here we talked about our scanner and how amazing our scanner is doing at the moment. I'm going to continue back testing that scanner for you guys, and once that scanner is nice and fully built, I will have a nice video coming out for you guys, and so on, and we'll be talking about a nice video about maybe my setup and my strategy and how you can take advantage of that strategy and so on. So we'll talk about all of that and all that fun stuff. But right now, before we close the stream, I actually have to do this part, which is customization, redirect, add, NQ, save. Oh, I also have to remind you guys, today we actually had a good conversation with the guys over at Benzinga. The people over at Benzinga and I had a nice little conversation today. Surprisingly enough, the guy I had a conversation with was born in the same place in India as I was. So that's pretty cool. We got to connect on that. And the point I'm getting to, however, is Benzinga Benzinga wants me on one of their shows about once a month or so. Nothing is finalized, but we'll see if that ends up working out. But if we do, you'll see your boy TraderPrad on the Benzinga streams about once a month or so. So that should be fun. Hopefully I don't make myself look like a bigger clown as I do already to my very small audience over here that I have going, who I very much love for the awesome support and awesome love. But hype train over here starting for your boy TraderPrad, and I would love for all of you guys to join me whenever that starts. I'll let you guys know, and I'd love for you guys to join me in those chats too. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, would love to keep seeing you come up over here on these streams. You know, I stream Monday to Thursday 8 p.m. and Sunday at 6 p.m. Have a great day tomorrow on the markets. Have an even better day. Have an even better night in bed tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow 8 p.m. Peace out. My brain's pooping. I can't speak anymore. I'm tired. Good night. Bye.